Cooking apa?
Hi, this is Cooking Appa. Today Appa is going to fry some noodles here. I'm going to use a combination between a pork-based broth and together with prawn broth. Okay, and let's look at the ingredient. This is the noodles I use today is actually this type. It's the dried full egg noodles. You can use any kind of noodle that is familiar to you. Yeah. This one after it is cooked, it looks like wonton noodles, but it is a lot more better than wonton noodles, as in it is more springy and it can be stir fried. Wonton noodles, especially the raw wonton noodles that you can get from the supermarket, cannot be stir fried. It will melt. Okay, but this one can. Yeah, and you can get it from. I got it actually from online. Yeah. And so this is actually, I'm cooking for 4 persons, so actually total 4 portions. This is 2 portions. So I'm going to separate it into 2 rounds of cooking. And then I have some tauge, yeah, soaked under water, some eggs, chicken eggs. This is some roast pork. This is fish cake. Some sliced shallot. Chopped garlic, this is spring onion, and I have some prawn shell, okay, prawn shell, and also a few pieces of ginger for us to make the prawn broth later. You, of course, I always kept my prawn shell in the fridge, so if you already take out the prawn shell, you can actually use the prawn also for this particular dish, okay. This one I already taken out. I've already used up the prawn earlier. I think in my curry laksa. Okay, and then the most important thing here is actually the broth. Let's take a look at the broth. Okay, so these are my pork broth. 2 pieces of big bone, pork bone here. I actually used Berkshire's pork bone. Yeah. Why I use Berkshire? Because actually I've been using their pork for a few years. I like their pork because their pork is actually rare without any growth hormone, without any antibiotics, yeah, so it's very healthy. And then I have some carrot, ginger slices, and also garlic, and 1 shallot inside. All right, so I use pressure cooker to pressure cook it for about half an hour, and then you get beautiful pork broth. And I added about this whole thing here is probably about close to 1 kg maybe. I added about 2 liters of water. The extra pork broth I'm going to keep in my fridge, yeah? So today I'll be using less than 1 liter, I think. And what else you need to know? You don't have to season this, yeah? You don't have to season your broth. Oh, you will need, very importantly, before you cook your broth, you need to blanch the pork bone. I'll show you shortly how to blanch the pork bone. Very simple.
Remember to click subscribe and notification button for more Appa's video.
So after you wash your big bones, you put it in cold water and bring it to a boil and let it boil for a minute or 2. Okay. When you are doing that, you can actually add some cooking wine, rice wine, and some few pieces of ginger into it. And you are seeing this is after about 2-3 minutes boiling. You are seeing all the brown color forms, which is also called scums. So those are the excessive blood releasing from the bone itself. And by doing this blanching process, you will be removing at least 80 to 90% of the gaminess away from the bone. And also later your broth will be a lot more clearer as well. So right after this, just take it out and wash it. Okay, so now we want to prepare the broth. Get ready the broth. Add in some oil. You want to saute ginger. On my hood. Make sure this is really hot, yeah? Then you can actually put in the prawn shell. The moment you add in the prawn shell, it may splatter a bit, so you be a bit careful, especially the prawn eyes contains water. Now you want to saute your prawn shell for, let's say, about 2 to 3 minutes to make it really fully cooked before you add in the pork broth. If you add in the pork broth too early, when your prawn shell is still half cooked, then the whole thing is going to be very fishy. So you want to use medium-high heat at least to really char the prawn shell. Okay. So let me bring over my pork broth. So add in the pork broth. Enough. This is probably somewhere around 700 of ml of pork broth. So we are going to bring this to a boil, then let it boil for about 2-3 minutes. Then it is our pork broth our pork and prawn broth and the soup base is ready. So this dish is all about your soup base. If you make your soup base nice, your noodles is going to taste really good as well. Okay, it is now boiling. So just let it boil for 2-3 minutes, then done. We'll come back shortly. So this is after a couple of minutes of boiling. Just use a sieve to remove the prawn shell and the ginger. And look at your milky broth here. So this is going to be the broth soup base for our noodles. Done. We can actually start cooking. Okay, so we are going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil inside here and then heat it up. I'm going to put in some onion, garlic, fragrant. Then I'm going to push the onion and garlic to the side and put in 2 eggs. I'm cooking for 2 portions right now. Cook for my daughter first. You can actually season the egg with a little bit of light soy sauce. I will try to let the egg char a bit, yeah? So try not to touch it right now. Let it char at the bottom to give it more fragrance. Your garlic and also onion, you can actually push over on top of the egg, so it won't be chao da, yeah? Okay, now it's half cooked, so you want to break it while it is half cooked. And at the bottom it's actually already charred a little bit. Then we will add in the broth. Right. Put in some fish cake. Some roast pork. Put in the noodles. Some tauge. Tune down the fire a little bit. Let's give it some seasoning. Give it a bit of salt. A bit of light soy sauce. Some oyster sauce. And one secret weapon, which is the fried onion. This will enhance the flavor. Okay, now you can raise the heat. If you think it's, because like all these ingredients is going to soak out the broth later. So if you think it's too dry, you can actually add in more broth. I got extra broth, no worries. So raise the heat to medium high right now. So the broth now actually also has the flavor from the egg. This will be a little bit, has a little bit of liquid inside, yeah? This style of cooking. It's not completely, it won't be completely dry. Oh, fragrant. Okay, done. Basically it's done. We are going to garnish it with some green onion later. You can actually add a bit of garlic oil or sesame oil right now to enhance the flavor. Okay, and of course you can put in a few dashes of white pepper, but because this one is for my daughter, so I'm not going to add the white pepper. It's basically done, I'm going to dish it out. Okay, here's my noodles here. I'm going to give it some spring onion on top. And some fried garlic. Okay, done. The original recipe for this particular dish is actually using fried mee sua. Okay, so I improvise. I don't have fried mee sua today with me, so I use this full egg noodles. Okay, so I hope you like my video today. If you like my video, do share my video out on your Facebook to your friends. Come to Cooking Appa Facebook fan page to click like and follow button. Follow Appa on Instagram and subscribe to Cooking Appa YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.